So as predicted, I said that I was going to post my last video and then a bunch of other stuff was going to come out about the production of It Ends With Us. And I was right. However, what I could not see coming in my little crystal ball was that everybody was going to get significantly more annoying about it.
Blake Lively gets candid about creative differences while making It Ends With Us. As rumors of a feud between the actress and the film's director Justin Baldoni, who also co-starred in the film, have continued to make waves online, Blake shares insight into her experience juggling her acting and producing role in the film.
Production drama is a fickle and complex thing. I feel like these days it doesn't happen super often, but when it does, it completely overtakes the news cycle. The last major production drama that we had was back in 2022 upon the release of Olivia Wilde's directorial project Don't Worry Darling. That drama stemmed from the fact that Olivia Wilde was having some sort of romantic relationship with Harry Styles, who starred in the film, the fact that that relationship was happening in the background of a custody battle between her and Jason Sudeikis, and the clear consensus that something had gone on between Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde, and Florence Pugh, who also starred in the film. We never got any direct closure from this situation, it just seems to be like a loosely tied together series of events. But I think we all collectively learned a lot from it, because the current production drama surrounding It Ends With Us is getting framed very similarly. And the current narrative surrounding the It Ends With Us cast has been flipped 1,001 different ways since the movie was released last week, and I know this because I have quantitative evidence in the sense that when Deadpool first came out, I posted a video about some discourse that I had been seeing about Ryan Reynolds, who is married to Blake Lively, and I got absolutely shit on for that, which is fine. It happens. I'm a content creator. You have every right to come on here and tell me you don't like my videos. It's fine. But surprisingly, after It Ends With Us came out, I got a whole new influx of viewers who were insisting that they all along never liked Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively. Similarly, I posted my review of the It Ends With Us film and the book, and for that video I focused more on my thoughts about, the book and the film, and less about the production drama because at the time that I recorded that video there was not a ton available and out there for me to analyze. So when that video was first posted, I got a lot of pro Justin Baldoni comments because there were a lot of people who were fans of him saying, swearing up and down that if there's some kind of production tension going on, it's because Blake Lively is a bad person. Then, within the last week or so, I've been getting completely opposite comments, insisting that this is all a deliberate PR attempt on behalf of Justin Baldoni to smear Blake Lively as a problematic Hollywood woman. Which is to say definitively that all of you have no idea what's going on. Okay, so to get everybody up to speed and on the same page, we're going to talk about all of the publicly available information surrounding the feud between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and the production of It Ends With Us. If anything major comes out after I post this video, it's in God's hands. Okay, so the first round of rumors that I saw mostly had to do with the fact that Blake Lively seemingly had a very heavy hand in all of the aspects of this film, despite the fact that she was not the film's director. This seemed like mostly a hearsay narrative spun out of nowhere until it was revealed that Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively's husband, wrote the rooftop scene at the start of the film, along with some swirling rumors that Blake and Ryan were trying to use this film to get Blake an Oscar nomination. This is all seemingly very plausible considering the fact that if you look at the marketing for this movie, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' stamps are sort of all over it, with the marketing being very closely associated with Deadpool, which came out a couple weeks earlier. This became even more of a plausible theory when Justin Baldoni was interviewed, again separately from the rest of the cast, and was specifically asked whether or not he would be on board to make a sequel film, to which he replied that there are better people more equipped for that and that he believes that Blake Lively is ready to direct. So, seemingly confirming the rumors that Blake Lively had sort of a backseat directing role when it came to this production. People also started to take note again to the different tones that Blake and Justin were taking in their separate interviews to promote the film, with many people saying that Justin Baldoni was speaking more about the serious aspects of it, the domestic violence and whatnot, while Blake was harping on it as more of a feel-good, flowery movie.
What comes to mind isn't so much about the work that went into it, but about the why behind it. If a Lily Bloom in real life can sit in this theater and maybe make a different choice for herself than was made for her. Maybe she sees herself on that screen and chooses something different for herself. That's why I made the movie.
What's your childhood dream?
To wear Britney Spears' Versace dress.
The one thing you want people to take away from this project, what would you say?
Hope. And that everybody has the ability to end a cycle
that they didn't ask for.
It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Just cutting in to say that I know that Justin Baldoni has also said some interesting things during the promotion of this movie. We're going to get to that. I'm trying to get through everything in chronological order here. Please don't yell at me. There's a lot going on. This difference in promotional strategies between Blake and Justin also spawned a pretty interesting TikTok meme in which people started, doing a joke where they would promote tragedies and or tragic films as Blake Lively is seemingly promoting It Ends With Us.
Now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Ooh, grab your close friends and wear your cotton dress. Wear your thorn crown and Jesus sandals. Arrive wet. War and whiskey sours. Yeah, nailed it. Wear your overalls, 'cause it's over.
So overall, it seemed like Justin was winning out in the narrative here and things weren't looking too hot for Blake, especially after an interview resurfaced where Blake was rude to a reporter. I'm not going to play the contents of the interview, I will link it in the description down below because I have a feeling it's a thing that a certain PR team does not want circulating around YouTube and I personally would rather not take that risk. It's a 4-minute clip of an interview that took place in 2016 and was done by a Norwegian reporter who recently re-uploaded that interview to YouTube where you can view it, and it is titled The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job. In the interview, Blake seems rather rude and dismissive, having a couple of side conversations with her co-star, and making a mockery of the reporter's question. So the reporter, congratulated Blake Lively on her baby bump because she was pregnant at the time, and Blake Lively, I guess, sort of took offense to that and congratulated the reporter on her bump. And also the reporter apparently asked about the clothes in the film, and then Blake Lively made some kind of remark about how people never ask men that kind of question. Bad vibes all around. Not very demure as the kids say nowadays. So everyone was like, wow, the surfacing of this interview is quite interesting timing considering that everybody on the internet is shitting on Blake Lively right now. God damn, it's the elephant in the room again. I don't know how it keeps getting in here, guys. Hold on one second. So it turns out that after all of this, Justin Baldoni ended up hiring the crisis PR manager that worked with Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard trial. This comes as it was leaked to TMZ, meaning that somebody from Blake Lively's team leaked this to TMZ, because this is usually how this works, that Blake Lively was made uncomfortable by multiple comments and actions that Justin Baldoni, did while on set. It was reported that Blake Lively felt that Justin Baldoni fat-shamed her because Justin asked how much Blake Lively weighed before lifting her up in the air in one scene, and apparently he did this because he has a history of back problems and wanted to know, but Blake felt as if she was being fat-shamed in that moment. And also that he made some people on the set uncomfortable. Apparently there was some kind of anecdote about Justin Baldoni holding Blake Lively too long during a kissing scene. As of recording this video, these are the most kind of concrete allegations that have come out about Justin Baldoni's behavior on set and how that might have been off-putting to Blake Lively and other people on the cast. But now that it's, publicly out there that Justin Baldoni hired this PR crisis team, it's causing people to look differently at how Blake Lively is being painted in the narrative here. For example, people have been, very quick to point out that Blake Lively is marketing this movie in kind of a bizarre way, but Justin Baldoni is also guilty of the same thing because one time in an interview he talked about acquiring the rights to It Ends With Us, and he referred to the story as sexy. I think the real turning point here was when everybody found out that Justin Baldoni had hired this PR team that helped out Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard trial, because all of this evidence mounting up against Blake Lively was starting to look a little bit more calculated. For example, that interview that, conveniently resurfaced from this reporter was initially framed as okay, this reporter waited for Blake Lively to be quote-unquote canceled or at the very least criticized in the public eye for her to finally air her grievance. But now it's is that actually the case, or did this PR firm, pay this reporter to upload this interview at this specific time and then put it in the right circles to gain traction for it? Both things could be entirely true. I think ultimately people are more skeptical now because the truth of the matter is that the Amber Heard case did a lot of damage to the credibility of women in the sense that celebrity crisis and PR teams now have a master playbook on how to obfuscate the truth and flip a narrative. I'm not necessarily saying that's what's happening with Justin Baldoni here. I feel like I still need a little bit more information to be able to make that determination for myself. But the Amber Heard case had massive ripple effects on how we view female celebrities in the public eye and how easy it is to get people to turn on them. And that's not to say that Blake Lively is a saint either. Do I think she came off rude in that interview? Yeah. Have I been outwardly critical of her before in previous instances? Yeah. Am I aware that the internet is more likely to come to the defense of rich, conventionally attractive white women than other people? Also, yeah. I think I've been able to view this whole situation pretty neutrally this whole time because I don't have any kind of like parasocial affection toward Justin Baldoni or Blake Lively. I did not watch Gossip Girl. I have never seen Jane the Virgin. I'm able to objectively say that I do not know either of these people personally. I don't know anyone who has worked with either of them. And 9 times out of 10, I'm inclined to believe that when two celebrities are in a feud like this, it's less likely that one side is 100% in the right and the other side is 100% in the wrong, and more likely that both people are a little self-absorbed and kind of suck. Like, they don't have to do anything to one another besides dislike each other, and the internet can work overtime to spin all these narratives for both of them. And just to be so for real right now, I am rather reluctant to trust the judgment of anyone who read It Ends With Us and was like, yeah, I really feel passionate about this Colleen Hoover project. Like, this is something that I really need to stamp my name on out of all things in Hollywood that I have access to. Like, this is the thing that I need to say that I was involved in. And I guess that's a good way to transition into my final point, that this is a movie that probably should not have been made. Because when it comes to such a serious topic like domestic violence, Colleen Hoover does not know what she's talking about. And the marketing of her books has been rather covert and sinister in the sense that they are all hot and spicy romances that use violent trauma as a source of conflict because she is not talented enough to write anything else. So of course, Blake Lively looks shitty promoting this movie as if it's a feel-good chick flick because the source material is so boneheaded that it's impossible to expect anything different. At the same time though, I understand the internet and its capacity to rush to collectively hate on semi-problematic white women. Every single person who is making a video about It Ends With Us, including me, is complicit in this. Blake Lively is JoJo Siwa, and JoJo Siwa is Katy Perry, and Katy Perry is Olivia Wilde, and Olivia Wilde is Amber Heard. It's all the same shit. In many cases, it doesn't even matter if the woman in question is in the right or in the wrong. It doesn't matter if there is a male counterpart in the story that did more wrongdoing than they did. People love to rip on them for it more than any other group in Hollywood, and that's just a fact. In my opinion, given the information that we currently know as of me recording this video, I really don't think there's any way to make a solid determination of what happened in the case of It Ends With Us and who is in the right and who is in the wrong, but people are acting as if they have all of the information in the world to be judge, jury, and executioner, and not only that, but they're acting like they know these people personally. I also think that if you don't have all of the facts being told to you in an objective way, or you're learning new information as it happens, it's okay to admit that you are likely being swayed by online narratives created by people who were paid to put them there. That's their job, and they are so good at it, which is why 9 times out of 10, it's probably better to refrain from mobbing a person who's involved in vague production drama where ultimately we're never going to know what actually happened unless one of them definitively comes out and says it, or if it comes out in a lawsuit. I think everyone involved here thought that this was going to be their ticket to more prestige work, but they all drastically underestimated Colleen Hoover's cursed reputation and how far they would all get dragged down by proxy. And the most unfortunate thing is that in a just world, the conversation around this film could have been a springboard to proper advocacy and spotlight on domestic violence victims. But instead, we have Don't Worry Darling Part 2, except it's worse, because instead of Chris Pine spitting on Harry Styles, it's a conversation about a really serious subject that is not getting treated as such no matter which way you cut it. In conclusion, everyone is an asshole, nobody wins, thank you and good night. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I promise this is the last time that I'm going to talk about this on the channel. I hope I, brought you the information as you needed to view it in an objective context, and you might come away with it questioning what you hear and what you read. Thanks so much. Remember to follow me on Twitter and all of these other social media links that I'm forgetting what they're called because my brain is broken. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!